Fatherhood. Yeah, they straight. Nah, I'm good. Got us straight stuff. Philly mama, take them up.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Fortified Fatherhood. We got professional mixed martial artist Moises Oropeza here as our guest today to drop a little knowledge on us. Welcome, Moses.
Thank you. It's an honor to be on.
We actually have a little bit of history. We trained with some acquaintances, some familiar faces back home in Orange County. Can you tell me a little bit about when you started training?
When I was 7, I first started boxing in Palm Springs, and I was out there with Steve Quinones. I stopped, started school, had to decide whether I had to stick in boxing or do a little better in school, so kind of stopped after a year. In college, I did Taekwondo. It was fun, but then I ended up moving to a different college, and then after a post-baccalaureate, I started, I walked into Bows and Rounders MMA in Santa Ana.
Yeah.
And I've always been interested. I've always liked UFC, mixed martial arts. But I said, hey, can I come in for some boxing reps? Because I kind of want to get Mom, just start touching up the bag. And he was like, hey, come try out the class. And next thing you know, I'm enrolled with my wife and my kids, and it was pretty cool. And just kind of got my feet wet there. And it's been about 9-10 years since. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey. And just to learn, see all the other up and coming martial arts schools like Sub Fighter, and yeah, it was cool to kind of cross train and get some rounds in with some guys out there. And out here, we moved about 5 years ago to Austin, which has been phenomenal. I was at 10 Planet Austin for a little while, a couple years, and now I'm at Iron Forge in Round Rock, and yeah, things are progressing, still learning, still moving, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
When you started your training in mixed martial arts and boxing after college, you had a son, right?
Yeah, no, I had a son in high school.
Yeah. So okay. So that's awesome. So they actually have been with you your entire journey.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. At what point did you kind of have that switch into where you thought that, okay, you know what, I think I can do this, on a professional level?
As far as pro, it was just, I got into a lot of mischief in high school, so the street fights, it was fun, man. That's just what you did, after school. Hey, go to the library, we're about to knuckle up. So yeah, on a professional level, I think after a few amateur fights, I won a few belts, and I think now is the time to go pro. And yeah, it's definitely a big transition from amateur to pro. And as far as fighting, it feels the same, just you get a couple more elbows in or knees, just different scenery in the rules. But yeah, I felt really prepared. I came in from like a Muay Thai, a lot of heavy wrestling background, so I was already ready to have a knife fight with elbows and knees. So that's one of my bread and butter. So it was cool transitioning to pro and being able to use a lot more weapons, so to speak. And
you were able to make that transition all while having a family and kind of, basically starting from the beginning, and then them seeing you transition, from boxing to, to jiu-jitsu, to actually being a competitive fighter. What is one value do you think that you've gotten from mixed martial arts and training in general that you think would be something that you would love to instill and pass on to your children? Oh, definitely killing your ego. That's just one thing where I see it. I see it when my sons train. And my oldest is just like, I just need to win every round. I'm like, no, son, that is not the way to do it. You need to learn to kill your ego and just stay calm and be patient about things, because, it'll come when it's the right time. But if you're trying to press forward and looking for things that aren't ready to resolve or in its right season, you're going to end up hurting yourself or hurting someone else. And with that time, you need to wait for the right timing for that. And as a fighter, I've learned myself, just killing my ego helps me learn, helps me be a better training partner, and just a good role model for my kids. If I go out there and just go berserk, they're gonna see exactly what I'm doing. So
they're gonna want to emulate or replicate exactly what I'm doing. So I try and hold my cool, and it translates outside of the gym where it's like there's road rage. Hey, I'm sorry, like be the bigger person and just walk away. Or if there's confrontation, like no, I'll be the bigger person and just walk away. But at the same time, my kids know if I say, hey, go sit on that bench right there, Dad's just gonna have to light someone up real quick. They'll be super calm and super patient, and they just won't freak out. They grew up in the gym, so they know like this is an everyday thing for Dad. Versus I feel bad for the other guy, or But why even get to that point where you run into a state like Texas or something where everyone's packing heat? It's like, oh, we could have avoided this whole thing from the very start if we could have just walked away and evaded the whole situation. So
yeah. Do you feel that like having your background in martial arts and being able to handle the situation, if it was on a physical level, that helps you de-escalate situations a lot more?
Oh, 100%. Usually
knowing that you can.
Oh yeah. You know that you could really hurt someone, and that just doesn't impact them. It impacts their family. It could just leave vengeance in their eyes, and you don't want to show that to the kids. Like that's just not the right way to approach something. Yeah. And also they know too, or if they're capable of doing that to someone, why even step down to that level or initiate? And most people want to start, some type of fight or something, or the guys that don't know how to fight and they let their machismo get to them, and it sucks, it sucks, but it's, sometimes some people need to learn a lesson, and other times they'll know, okay, let's just evade the situation. So
you have a 16-year-old son.
Yeah.
Correct? So, I mean, at that age, he's experienced some kind of bullying. He's experienced, some kind of, negative talk and some kind of confrontational situations. Has he been training also?
Yeah, he's been training. He stepped it up the last couple of years. Now before it was jiu-jitsu and a little bit of wrestling, because I was teaching a wrestling class. Yeah. And now he's really settling into striking too. So now he's doing Muay Thai and boxing every now and then, and he's continuing with his jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And yeah, man, it's really, I think, mellowed him out and really helped him use martial arts as a plug or some type of source where he could let out frustration or anything that's going on with school. Like he just needs to let it out essentially. And I feel like this plug has just been great for him, We'll go our rounds too, and I'll light him up and he'll light me up. But at the end of the day, he's like, hey, Dad, just want to say thank you. And, he's just very appreciative of just being able to be on the mats or like learn from higher senseis or coaches. Yeah. So it's really cool to see him evolving and just kind of mellowing out, because he was a little hothead before.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. It seems to me that so you think that he's gotten humbled in his training, and he's also learned how to kind of regulate his strength and knowing that he's able to handle himself and de-escalating his own situations, you think, at school?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely see it at school, because you do get your humbling juice, some that's why, like, even during like sparring days, like I like to go with other people, because he'll get lit up and it's like, hey, Dad, this guy was taller than me, how could I adjust? And I'm like, yes, those are the questions I want to hear. Like, how are we going to work around our problems? And that translates to life with other problems.
MMA in particular, takes a lot of discipline, a lot of consistency. How do you feel that discipline and consistency has came over into the way you lead as a parent? The structure that you've gotten from martial arts, how have you used that in parenting?
With martial arts, there's a lot of a schedule. There's a lot of structure, a lot of schedule. So as a parent, we try and keep the kids as busy as possible. You know, I'd rather have them busy doing stuff in a gym or somewhere where it's like physically healthy for you than hanging out with their friends or just, you know, just being disruptive. Like I'd rather have eyes on them the whole time, and you know, just it's just makes me feel a little better and just that connection with the kids. So as far as martial arts into a normal kind of life, we have our, you know, our pretty much every day except Sunday, where it's like, okay, you're gonna go to school, you're gonna go to class, we're gonna come back home, eat, you're gonna finish your homework, and that's pretty much it for the day until you have the weekend where you could go ahead and hang out with your friends or you know, play video games, whatever the case. But that structure I feel like is gonna carry on when they start college, when they start work, where they need to really sacrifice time or like a schedule to know like, hey, if I did school, if I trained, if I did such and such extracurricular activities, then why can't that translate to me outside of school when I'm working or when I want to train on my own time? So I think that's been a big help as far as structure when they're older and, you know, when they leave the nest.
So as far as like your martial arts training, and just being a martial artist in general, you know, let's just take away the MMA and whatever if you have a competition coming up, you know, how important is it to you to fill up your own cup? You know, and not saying you have to go for 2-3 hours, you know, because you have a fight camp, you know, but let's say just like on a day-to-day basis, just taking time out of your day to fill up your cup, to train, to run, just to move your body. You know, how important is it to you, and how important does your family know that is to you?
It's really important. First thing to me is it's God first. You know, like I wake up and, you know, praise the Lord for another day of living, breathing, having my family, and then after that, it's, you know, I've ever since me and my wife got together, it's 10+ years now, which is awesome. Thank you. I worked at the same job the last 10 years. I've trained the last 10 years. I've done everything, so it's always been a part of the moving mechanism of like what we're going through, whether amateur or pro. So it's always been a part of the lifestyle. So nothing's really changed since. So I just think it's just keep doing what you're doing, and they know, hey, Dad's cutting weight now. We can't have all these snacks around the house. Or hey, Dad, like there's just different seasons in the year where it's Dad's injured, or hey, you know, we're gonna go on vacation. Let's put training away for a little. It all kind of the seasons, I guess, is the best way to say it.
It's a thing that like some people on the outside can't understand, you know, okay, well, why would you put your body through this, you know, and why would you think about taking time out of your day, you know, from your family or from your work or whatever, you know, to involve yourself in martial arts, you know. But I think you hit it right on the head when you're saying that, like, you know, we're doing it for us, but we're really doing it for everybody else, you know, because you're constantly learning. You're also showing that that curiosity and that flexibility to your you know, to your children, to your family. And I think that you said that you know, your wife kind of grew up, you know, you guys all came up together basically in this way of life, and then, so it's not, you know, Daddy has to do something, you know, Daddy is going to do something because this is part of who we are as a family. Is that safe to say that martial arts is a way of life for your family, not just for you?
Oh yeah, 100%. And now it's cool to see my wife training too.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's cool to see the kids training and just like exposing. My sister came out last week and she tried jiu-jitsu for the first time.
Oh, no way.
My niece. So it's really cool to kind of expose them to our daily lives and just something outside of your comfort zone. So it was really neat to just keep teaching. You know, if someone steps in the door for the first time.
Yeah.
That's like the best
Yeah.
feeling, because you remember, you get flashbacks. Like, I remember walking in the first time and you're just really timid and scared, like, oh man, what's
Yeah.
gonna happen? And then you end up enjoying the process, and you
Yeah.
just wish the same for others.
Being a coach as well as a father, obviously, and having your whole family involved, and then trying to get other, getting other people, family members involved and friends. What is something that you would suggest or recommend to that person walking in those doors for the first time? They come in, it's a fight gym, maybe they're doing jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, kickball, whatever it is that they're doing. What is something that you would suggest for them when they come in? Like just keeping an open mind, and, what else?
For one, it would be them empty your cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, my old sensei, Angel, used to always say that, empty your cup of tea before
Yeah.
class. And the other thing is, talk to your group that's with you, whether it's teammates, whether it's whoever it is inside the gym, and just let them know, hey, you remember your first time on the mats?
Yeah.
Give this person like a very home welcoming feel, because within those first 10, 15 minutes they're inside the gym, they're gonna say, hey, does this feel right for me or does it not? And if you don't have someone like receiving you right, you're probably not gonna come back, and
Yeah.
it's an opportunity missed out for whoever walked in the doors to change their complete life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. I've seen huge stories of how mixed martial arts or boxing or Muay Thai has changed someone's life, health-wise, mental-wise. So that's really a huge change. And just like,
Yeah.
for me, it's like being a vessel, like helping people know God if they're going through some stuff too.
Right,
Like
right.
that's a huge being a vessel for God, and just like, hey, this is a safe place for you. Come train, come break bread with your new brothers and sisters, and I think that's huge.
Yeah.
So.
Can you show us a little something that you've learned over the years?
Yeah,
That you can help us out?
definitely.
Yeah.
I think fundamentals win fights.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing initially, like let's say we were about to get into an altercation, and fam was here, the first thing I'd say is, hey, sorry you feel the way you feel, I'm just gonna head out. Like, that's always number one. You don't want to initiate or just be in it. But my biggest thing, or that I've seen, like getting in street fights or whatever the case, everyone wants to land the biggest blow first.
Yeah.
So if you were attacking me, chances are you're gonna throw a cross or a right hand, just depending on. So the first thing I'd see is like how your feet are positioned.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go off of a double, either if it's a hook or a cross. You kind of just want to change levels just to evade the punch, but also get your takedown and just control on side control. So if we were to move forward, I'm here, boom. I'm gonna change levels right here. I'm making sure my head's under. I'm gonna drop my knee in between his legs, and I'm gonna bump at the same time to get the staggered position squared. Boom. As soon as I hit this, I'm gonna use my right leg, which is posted, to move into a 90-degree angle, just to really offset from any type of sprawling or defending. It's gonna make it really tough for my opponent or whoever's in front of me to defend this takedown. I'm gonna use my head, and I'm gonna look to my left like someone's calling me. I'm gonna bring him down. As soon as I get to this position, I want to start wrapping my left arm under the head, and I want to bring this left arm into my base right here, and I want to be chest to chest. That way, if the bottom player is trying to buckle or move, I have enough frames and posts right here to kind of control until the situation gets escalated or until they burn out a good amount of energy.
Big shout out and thank you to our man Moses for dropping by, showing us how martial arts has helped.
Fatherhood, yeah, they straight. I'm good. Got a straight, straight, Philly mama.